Welcome back to Range Anxiety, and we'll share this one too with Powertech TV. We're going to have a look at one of my old favourites today. We do a bit of our diesel 4x4 stuff occasionally, and today, one of my actual favourites, because I owned one of these brand new when they first came out in 2015, the D23 Navara. Now, people are pretty polarised about Navaras. They either love them or they hate them. I put myself more into the love them camp because I had one, never did a thing wrong, and went really, really well. They tune up good. The little 2.3 engine, though, is different to your conventional diesel. It's revier. Its turbo boost comes on sort of later with the sequential twin turbo system that they run. And it gives them more of a petrol car power curve than a conventional diesel lugger that peaks at, 2,500 and then follows the Space Wizard wand all the way down to the bottom. These draw a more conventional curve, as you'll see. There aren't a real lot of problems with these things, even though you hear people whinging about them. Sure, they leak a bit of oil. Sure, they split into cooler hoses. If you bury them in mud, you can jam the boost solenoid, just stuff like that. But overall, they're actually not a bad package. And like I said, I really enjoyed mine. The real late models, though, like this one, they have made them more gutless. I don't know how Nissan rate them or if they rate them any different. But from about 18, 17, late 17, early 18 onwards, and particularly these later models, they get more and more gutless as they go. All software changes, not hardware changes. So a custom tune really livens them up. Now, this guy here in particular loves it, but just struggles. He lives on a 3K incline like that, if you look at the Space Wizard wand. And when he's towing uphill to bring his van home, it's just like you get out and run faster. So we're going to make it so that this could pull a Space Wizard wand to full extension without busting the bank, and more importantly, without busting the engine or transmission, which are both actually quite tough in these things. So let's have a look at what a stock one does on the dyno. As I say every time, and we have covered before, the wheel and tyre package makes a huge difference to the way these things actually put their power down to the road and how much power and torque they do put down to the road. Now, standard, this thing only pulled, because of these big 295s, 96 kilowatts at the wheels, so I can understand the owner's complaints. So yeah, this is a challenge. On the standard wheel and tyre package, it probably would have made 110 standard. So, it's knocked it around 15 kilowatts and 30 Newton meters just by putting these on it. I mean, they do look good though. So I said earlier, these things do respond, the 2.3 litre twin turbo diesel, a lot like a petrol engine, just a little lower in the revs. And the curve comparison here, tuned and untuned, proves that. Just off the mark at 1900, putting all its effort into getting those big wheels spinning at the start of the dyno run. It's not until 2300 RPM and thereon that we start to see the massive differences. By the time we're at 2800 RPM, or no, 2650, 2700, we're making over 100 Newton meters more at the wheels. So this is one of the cars, when you're towing, you'd keep it in that 2.5 to 3 zone to get, access to all of the beans rather than let it lug at 1800, which you don't want to do when you got 3 ton on the back anyway. Let's face it, that's just silly. But the further it revs, the bigger the power gains. And, we've gone from 96 to 123 kilowatts at the wheels. That's massive, right? That's as much as you can expect. And it does that with slightly leaner than standard air fuel ratios, which means it runs cooler. And it's only running 3.5, 4 pounds more boost. It really is these things. And the torque carries across all the way to 4,000 as a gain. They really are a good engine for towing, providing you keep them up there and singing. And yeah, sing they do, I think as a package, and I'm going to get some hate mail over this, and I don't care. You can click and subscribe anyway, or unsubscribe if you don't like Navaras. I think they're one of the better things out there. Just left factory, they are a little bit lacking, particularly if you put big wheels on them. So thank you once more for tuning into Range Anxiety, and let's get rid of this diesel stuff and get back to some EV stuff straight away.